Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You didn't land on this video by mistake. In fact, your presence here is part of something much deeper than you've allowed yourself to understand. There's a reason why your soul feels unsettled, even when your life seems to be moving. There's a reason you're still searching, still watching, still waiting for something to finally speak to you in a language your heart understands. And here it is. This message is not just for any soul. It's for you, the one who's been chosen, the one who's been feeling like life is shifting but you don't know why, the one who has been pulled into silence, into strange thoughts, into spiritual tension that won't let go. You've been asking for a sign, but deep down, you already knew something was happening, didn't you? Something invisible has been unfolding around you, and you've tried to rationalize it. Tried to sleep it off, tried to distract yourself, but it's not going away. Because it's not just a phase, and it's not just a bad week, it's a spiritual alarm, loud enough for your soul to hear, but subtle enough for your mind to question. And today, that alarm is speaking to you again, loud, clear, unapologetically. You are in danger, not the kind of danger that shows up with loud noise and flashing lights, but the kind that moves quietly through comfort, through delay, through spiritual blindness. And the most dangerous thing is, you almost got used to it. You almost accepted it. But you were never meant to. That feeling in your chest that won't let you relax, the restlessness in your soul, it's not drama, it's direction. You've been chosen, but you've also been targeted. Your spirit carries something heavy. And that weight is not random. It's responsibility, it's legacy, it's the echo of prayers made long before you were born. And if you don't awaken now, something sacred may go unseen, unheard, unleaved. Here's a secret most people miss. When Allah wants to protect someone, He doesn't always rescue them from the storm. Sometimes, He becomes the storm that shakes everything around them. The plan of Allah isn't always soft. Sometimes it disrupts, sometimes it breaks, but it never harms. It only saves. The question is, are you listening? Or are you still trying to find logic in a season that was sent to lead you, not explain itself? Let me be real with you. This is not the time to wait for more evidence. You don't need another dream. You don't need someone to tell you what you already feel. This is the moment you've been spiritually prepared for. The moment where everything that's been circling your life begins to make sense. But only if you stop running and start remembering. Chosen one, you're not here to survive. You're here to rise. But to rise, you must respond. This plan of Allah is moving with or without your comfort. And if you don't step into it, you'll stay stuck in patterns that were never meant to hold you. And believe me, you weren't created to live in a loop. You were made to break it. This is your call. And if you're still watching, your soul just confirmed it. The most dangerous things in life are not the ones that make noise. They're the ones that sleep in quietly, make themselves at home and change the way you think without you even noticing. That's how darkness works. It doesn't always crash through the doors. Sometimes it creeps in through the smallest cracks in your discipline, your intentions, your time. You're in danger, not because of enemies you can see, but because of the internal battles you keep avoiding. The danger is not some dramatic event, it's a slow fade. The kind that starts with skipped prayers, continues with neglected reflection, and deepens through distraction masked as productivity. It's the feeling of being alive but not awakened, moving but disconnected. And the longer you stay in that place, the more comfortable it feels. That's the trap. You weren't built to live like this, numb, tired, spiritually cold, and emotionally absent. But the truth is, you've been walking through your days with a heart that's slowly growing distant. And the silence doesn't mean peace. It means distance. Distance between you and your Lord. And that distance, that's the real danger. Here's the trick. This enemy doesn't need to destroy you to defeat you. It only needs to distract you. Keep you busy with things that feel urgent but aren't important. Feed you just enough comfort to make you stop seeking transformation. Fill your time with noise so you never hear the voice inside that's been crying for help. And right now, that voice is screaming. But the world around you is so loud, you've stopped hearing it. This isn't about being a bad person. This is about being a silent warrior whose sword has gone dull. It's about carrying a spirit that was meant to lead, but is now lost in routine. You used to feel things deeper. You used to crave meaning. Now, you just want relief. But relief without reconnection is just another trick. And no trick is more effective than one that looks like a blessing. The whispers you ignored, they were warnings. The delays you called bad luck, they were interventions. But your heart kept scrolling. And your soul, it's not built for this kind of delay. It's aching for you to return before this numbness becomes your normal. You want to know what's most terrifying? When you stop feeling bad about feeling distant. When you justify the distance by calling it adulthood, pressure, stress, or just life. But deep down, something still stings, doesn't it? That faint discomfort that visits you in silence. That weight on your chest at night. That discomfort isn't weakness. It's mercy. Let me put it this way. Your spirit is under attack. Not by weapons, not by enemies, but by whispers, by distractions, by delay. And the longer you ignore the call, the louder the confusion becomes. You'll start to question what you already knew. You'll start to doubt what used to move you. And slowly, you'll forget what it feels like to walk with divine clarity. There's a war happening around your soul, and you've been treating it like a season, hoping it passes. But what if this isn't something to wait out? What if it's something to wake up from? This is your wake up. Allah isn't allowing this restlessness for no reason. He's disrupting your comfort because your calling cannot live in delay. He's making you feel everything because feeling is the first step to breaking free. You can't fight what you don't feel, and you can't heal what you won't face. You're in danger. Not because you're weak, but because you're powerful. And that power is being targeted with a very quiet plan. Keep you busy, keep you numb, and keep you from rising. But if you're still here, if your eyes are still reading these words and your heart is still responding, that means the plan to destroy you has already failed. Because Allah is still reaching for you. He's still stirring your spirit. And the moment you respond, the danger shifts. Because you become dangerous to the very darkness that tried to keep you quiet. This isn't a warning to scare you. It's a call to awaken what's been buried. You still have time, but don't let comfort convince you that you always will. You've been looking for a loud answer, a clear voice, a dramatic moment that confirms everything. But Allah doesn't always speak that way. His signs are often not wrapped in miracles. They're wrapped in moments, quiet, still, and easy to ignore if you're not paying attention. Think about it. How many times did something slow you down recently? Plans that didn't work? People who left? Sudden delays that made you sit with your thoughts longer than usual? That wasn't life falling apart. That was divine positioning. Allah doesn't always close doors to hurt you. Sometimes, He does it to silence the noise, so you can hear what your heart already knew. Have you noticed how your nights have changed? The way your chest feels heavier before sleep? The tears that come without warning? That's not just stress. That's your soul trying to break through the distractions. That's your spirit saying, I miss him. I miss the peace that only submission brings. And when you wake up with that lingering emptiness, don't brush it off. That's a message, a pull, a divine whisper wrapped in discomfort. Some signs come through people. Ever had someone speak to you about something that hit too close to home, even though they didn't know what you were going through? That wasn't random. That was mercy being sent through another tongue. A reminder that you're seen, that even when you try to act okay, heaven still notices what earth ignores. Other signs come through discomfort, repeated patterns that frustrate you, cycles you can't seem to break, the feeling that you're stuck in the same lessons over and over. It's not because you're cursed. It's because there's a lesson you're avoiding. And until you face it, you'll stay trapped in repetition. Allah doesn't let you pass forward without collecting what you're meant to carry. Do you ever feel like you're being watched over? Not in fear, but in longing, like something sacred is waiting for you to return? That's not your imagination. That's your soul remembering a connection it once had and now craves again. You may have moved away, but you were never forgotten. And these signs? They're the breadcrumbs leading you back home. You may be thinking, but I haven't seen anything that clear. And that's exactly the point. The signs were never meant to be obvious. They were meant to be felt. In the silence, in the restlessness, in the moments when the world goes quiet and your heart starts to speak. That's when it gets loud. Not outside, but within. You've ignored it, haven't you? Brushed it off. Called it overthinking. Distracted yourself. But it keeps returning. And the longer you avoid it, the more it surrounds you. Because Allah doesn't give up on those He chooses. He whispers through your pain, your boredom, your late nights, your deepest sighs. He's not waiting for you to be perfect. He's waiting for you to be present. Think back. Remember the conversation you weren't supposed to hear, but did. The line from a book or a video that stayed with you. The friend who left without closure. The job that fell through, the opportunity that came and disappeared. None of it was random. These are not background events. These are divine signs, each one carrying a message your spirit has been trying to interpret. And here's the hardest part. Most people ignore them. They want the Red Sea to part before they move. They want thunder in the sky, a message carved in stone. But Allah often chooses whispers over thunder, silence over spectacle. Because those who are truly awake, they hear Him in everything. So pause for a second. Go back through your life with open eyes. Look again. Those patterns, those shifts, they're not coincidences. They're confirmation. You were never abandoned, only redirected. And now, the signs are louder than ever. But what you do with them, that's your choice. Chosen one, you've been asking for a message. This is it. Not because I'm saying it, but because your heart already knows it's true. You've been trying to hold your life together, haven't you? Trying to make sense of why everything feels different, why people are leaving, why doors that once opened easily are now locked shut. You thought you were being punished. You thought Allah was silent. But let's clear something up right now. This is not abandonment. This is orchestration. What you're experiencing is not a breakdown. It's a blueprint. A divine rearrangement. And if you keep looking at it with the eyes of confusion, you'll miss the beauty of what's really happening. Every delay, every goodbye, every twist in your story, they're not blocking you. They're building you. Quietly, strategically, purposefully. Let's stop pretending that you haven't noticed it. That shift in your spirit. That unsettling feeling that everything is moving but you don't know where it's going. You think you're lost, but you're not. You're being moved to a place that your old self couldn't reach. And to get there, some things had to be removed. Not because they were bad, but because they were never meant to follow you into your next chapter. Allah's plan doesn't always feel gentle. Sometimes it breaks before it builds. Sometimes it wounds before it wakes. But what if I told you that this breaking was mercy? That the confusion you're carrying is actually a sign that something greater is aligning for you. When Allah loves someone, He doesn't just bless their comfort, He blesses their growth. He doesn't just decorate their path, He defines it. And to define it, He removes everything that doesn't belong. The people, the habits, the distractions, even the versions of you that were holding on to the wrong things. It's not rejection, it's realignment. Maybe you've been trying to go back to how things were, forcing doors, chasing old feelings, holding on to what used to make sense. But nothing fits anymore, does it? That's because you're being prepared for something your past can't contain. The plan isn't to repeat, it's to elevate. And elevation requires separation. Every interruption in your life right now is a conversation with heaven. Every closed door is a new instruction. Every unanswered prayer is an invitation to trust deeper. Allah isn't asking you to figure it out. He's asking you to surrender to a design bigger than your understanding. Think about how much He loves you. Enough to stop you. Enough to remove what you thought you couldn't live without. Enough to delay your timeline because it wasn't built to protect your heart. Enough to withhold what you asked for because what He has for you would have been blocked by it. And now, you're in the space between, the in-between season that feels lonely, confusing, and sometimes painful. But that space is sacred, because it's where transformation lives. It's where old identities die and new clarity is born. It's where Allah whispers the next chapter into your soul, word by word, experience by experience. You don't have to understand it all right now. You don't have to pretend it doesn't hurt. But you do have to trust that this is not chaos. This is choreography. And the one writing your story doesn't make mistakes.
Let that sink in. The one who split the sea, the one who raised the sun, the one who placed mercy inside your chest. He is the one moving the pieces of your life right now. Not randomly, not carelessly, but intentionally. You were never left behind. You were pulled ahead. So if you're tired of trying to control everything, if you're exhausted from fighting battles you don't even understand anymore, maybe it's time to pause. To look around at everything that has changed, and instead of asking, why me, start asking, what now? Because this, all of this, is the plan of Allah for you. Not to break you, but to save you. Not to confuse you, but to awaken you. Not to slow you down, but to make sure you arrive when your soul is ready. And in the stillness of the night, when everyone else is asleep, Allah may begin to whisper into your soul things that no one else was meant to hear. This is not imagination. It's divine communication meant for the awakened hearts. If you've made it this far, you are not here to live a silent life while carrying a thunderstorm inside. You are not here to drown in confusion while Allah offers you clarity in waves. You're being shaped for something far greater than what this dunya can grasp. And the reason your soul feels out of place in certain rooms, among certain people, or during certain seasons, it's not a coincidence. It's Allah's mercy, removing the noise so you can hear His calling more clearly. Pay attention when your joy starts coming from things you never used to notice before. A breeze during prayer, a tear during sujood, or a sense of peace when you recite Al-Fatiha slowly. These are not just moments, they're signs. Allah is transforming your soul from within. He's not asking you to be perfect overnight. He's asking you to remain sincere, to keep walking, even when the path feels lonely. Because the loneliness you feel on this path is not abandonment. It's sacred space. It's where you are being purified. There is a type of silence that screams louder than any noise. And that's the one you feel when your heart stops desiring this world the way it once did.
That's not emptiness. That's spiritual awakening. That's your ruh returning to its real home, closeness to Allah. The people who once misunderstood you may still be confused by your peace. That's okay. Your journey is not theirs to understand. Allah is not preparing you to impress the world. He's preparing you to impact it, quietly, deeply, and with grace. You may have noticed that your du'as have changed. You're no longer asking only for dunya victories, but for patience, strength, contentment, and nearness to Allah. That shift is a divine sign. Your soul is maturing. It's realizing that proximity to Allah is the actual miracle, not the things you wanted Him to give you. And when that shift happens, even your hardships start feeling lighter. You don't break the way you used to. You bend, but you rise again, stronger, quieter, more stable. That's not weakness. That's spiritual resilience. Allah is building something in you that pain can't destroy. There are people who will enter your life and feel like a test, and others who will enter and feel like a breath of divine mercy. Learn to recognize the difference. When Allah sends someone into your life who makes your faith grow, your dua deepen, and your heart soften, don't take that lightly. That's a rare mercy. Protect it. Value it. Because just as Allah isolates you for elevation, He also sends you companions for the journey. Not to carry your load, but to remind you that you are not alone as you carry it. The pain of detachment is temporary. The blessings of obedience are eternal. The heart that breaks in front of Allah will never break in front of the dunya again. When Allah empties your life of what you thought you needed, He's not punishing you. He's protecting you from illusion, from distraction, from delay. Because what's ahead of you is far greater than what's behind you. And the things that left you, they were not capable of walking where Allah is about to take you. So if you're feeling like you're in the middle of a shift, a transformation, a transition, lean into it. Don't resist it. Don't try to go back to what once felt comfortable but was costing you your soul. This is your soul's migration back to the source. You're shedding old skins. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. And this rebuilding process is sacred. Allah does not rush it. He takes His time with those He loves. Like the slow carving of diamonds from rough stones. Like the long preparation before a seed breaks through the soil. He's not late. He's precise. He's preparing you to be unshakable. Now pause and ask yourself, what part of me is Allah trying to resurrect? What longing has He placed in my heart that this world cannot fulfill? What have I been ignoring that is actually a divine invitation?